All right. This morning we're going to talk about the problem of pride. And we're not, caveats, talking about the good kind of pride you feel as a mom or a dad for your kid, that God-given sense of good pride in that definition. We're not talking about the great sense of pride or self-accomplishment that you feel when you do something that is amazing or significant and somebody compliments you and you feel whatever that is, that pride about that. We're not talking about that kind of pride. We're talking about the bad kind of pride, the deadly sin kind of pride. Now, pride is a hard character flaw to see or admit to in most human beings. Most of us live in denial most of the time, and some of us do the denial thing so well that we don't even think that pride is an issue in our lives, or that we have a problem with pride. Which is a problem. C.S. Lewis, his haunting quote on pride comes to mind, and C.S. Lewis quotes throughout this message, and I figure C.S. Lewis must have had a huge problem with his pride. Very gifted person. I think pride grows commensurate with that. Lewis said, "If you think you're not conceited, then you are very conceited indeed." Ouch. Listen to Jesus' lesson on pride. And be careful as you listen to this, because it comes with a big hook. And if you're not careful, you might get hooked. He, Jesus, told this next story to some who were complacently pleased with themselves over their moral performance and looked down their noses at common people. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee, the other a tax man. The Pharisee posed and prayed like this: "O God, I thank you that I'm not like other people, robbers, crooks, adulterers, or, heaven forbid, this tax man. I fast twice a week and I tithe on all my income." Meanwhile, the tax man slumped in the shadows, his face in his hands, not daring to look up, and said, "God, give mercy. Forgive me, a sinner." And Jesus commented, "This tax man, not the other, went home made right with God. If you walk around with your nose in the air, you're going to end up flat on your face. But if you're content to simply be yourself, you will become more than yourself." Now, how do you react to that story of Jesus? I'm going to take a survey. We never do surveys at New Hope with shows of hands, so you have to play, okay? How many thought the tax collector was a total loser? Hands up. One person in the back, just to be contrary. Two, sorry. Lance is a tax collector with RevCan. How many people think Lance is a total loser? All right. Very few of you, except for the smart Alex, raised their hand on that one. Second question. How many of you thought the Pharisee was a jerk? Hands up. Keep them up. Keep them up. Keep them up. Don't lower the hand yet. I so totally agree, right? I mean, what arrogance and what a loser to say before this other guy who's in the room with him in church that, thank God, I'm not like him. Terrible. The arrogance of that, that's why I hate religion and church sometimes, because people are like that. Okay, you can put your hands down. Happy you did anyway, because no one listens at New Hope. I just thought with all the hands up, it felt like a Pentecostal church there for a second. I was getting kind of scared. I see that hand. I see that hand over there. Okay, did you catch the hook? By judging the Pharisee as being a jerk, you've become exactly like him. Thank God none of us is like a loser like him. The nervous laughter ripples across the crowd. What about the second hook, the one I added? Did you get caught by that one? My joke demeaning Pentecostal Christians who just do things differently in terms of how they do church. Brothers and sisters in the faith, fellow followers of Christ, fellow human beings for whom God did what God did in giving everything. Did you get hooked into the little pride of looking down your nose at them and laughing at them? I wrote the joke in and then realized what I'd done. So deceptive is pride. Yeah, so deceptive, so holier than thou, so, oh, come on, it's just a joke, lighten up, powerful is pride. And the truth is, in my experience, it is impossible to extricate from your life. Because we are the kind of people who always want to compare and always want to measure things. C.S. Lewis, again, wrote that pride doesn't really care about whether it is rich or powerful or good-looking. Pride cares about being richer and more powerful and better-looking. It's kind of ugly. Pride is about looking down on others in a way and with a haughtiness that somehow allows you to self-elevate, which is exactly what the Pharisee did in the parable and exactly what all of us did in judging the Pharisee in the parable.
There must be more than this. O breath of God, come breathe within. There must be more than